Hey guys, my name's Devin. I am an owner of an ISSC Mk Not sure what generation or which model it is, but I am an owner of one, and I'm making this video because I had an issue after putting my firearm back together, specifically the lower assembly. So what happened is I took the trigger assembly completely apart down to the springs, pins, and individual pieces, and I mean it all went back together just fine. I didn't have any missing pieces, and I didn't have any damage to the firearm. I cleaned it up as best as I could and just put it back together. So what I found out, and it was barely noticeable, but the selector lever was noticeably more difficult to move back and forth. It's kind of a minor detail. It's not really something I thought was an issue, but after a little bit closer investigation, I noticed right here at this plastic, if you look closely, you can actually see it bows the plastic outward as you move the selector lever. And that's pretty much what told me there was an issue with it. And I'll go ahead and show you what that is. So underneath this pin here, anyone that's familiar with the firearm, there's a pin right in here, and that's actually what holds the selector lever into place whenever you move it from fire or from safe. And the issue, you can probably barely tell, but this pin is actually sideways right now. So if I move it straight the way it's supposed to be, it's a little more pronounced, a little easier to see. This is how it's supposed to be sitting. The problem is, whenever you push this safety selector lever back into place where it's supposed to be, what's happening is it's pushing this pin sideways and pretty much out of battery. That's what was giving me issues. That's what's causing the tighter tolerances, and that's what's causing the plastic to bow outward. So I'll go ahead and take this out and just give you a little bit better view, and hopefully my fix here is going to help you guys out. I pray you guys find a better way to solve it, but this is what I had with me, and this is how I ended up fixing my issue. So here's the spring right here, as you can see right in front of my thumb. And same thing, what's happening is this is getting pushed inward. There we go. And pretty much you can see there the spring's kind of bowing outward. And so that's what's causing the plastic to bow out as well. Go ahead and put that back into alignment. So it's hard to really show you, but behind this pin there's pretty much just a gap in the plastic. There's nothing to keep this pin from falling out of battery. Like I said, I didn't see any like chips or burrs in the actual plastic. I wasn't missing any pieces, so this just tells me it's just maybe a bad design. I like the rifle. It works great for what I need it to do, but that should not be happening. So I tried just filling in this little gap here with the spring. I tried filling it in with some material, just something to help put a little bit of pressure on the spring. Not too much, you don't want to cause any undue damage to the firearm components. So what I ended up doing was, this is going to be really Mickey Mouse, as my dad would say, but I just took a paper clip, and then I ended up pretty much taking the metal and folding it back onto itself repeatedly to make a small little piece of metal that I could use. It kind of works like an additional spring, actually. So here it is. That's what I ended up making. Like I said, I'm not a gunsmith. This isn't my expertise by any means. It's just a little bit of a hobby. So what I'm doing is I take this piece and I'm just putting it right on top of this spring. It's not squeezing in or anything. It just kind of lays right there. It's not too tight either. Obviously it falls right out like a spring would. So pretty much that just sits there. And then all that's doing is filling in the void between the spring and the outer outer plastic to the actual lower receiver. So I'll go ahead and just put it back in so I can show you the difference between how it was operating and how it operates once you make that small adjustment for that spring. Here we go. So here's the spring again, or the pin again, and if you look, doesn't quite fall out of position quite as easily, if at all. And then I'll go ahead and put the selector lever in. Here we go. Moves pretty smoothly, no issues. It's a lot easier than it was. And the biggest difference, which is the main reason why I wanted to get the fix done, is no bowing in the plastic. No disposition in the outer shell. I'd say it's good to go. Like I said, I made this video not really in response to anyone directly, but I did watch some disassembly videos and no one ran into this issue that I did. I'm assuming maybe it's just newer models versus older models, but this is definitely an issue I had, and I just hope that no one else ran into it. If they do, now they'll have at least an idea or an understanding as to why and what they can do to fix it. Thank you for watching.